Hello, hello. Morning, y'all. It's been a minute, a week or so. Actually, probably a little bit less than a week since I've made a video. Um, but I'll get right to it. So today is day 21. I'm on day 21 of semen retention, SR, NoFap. My version of it is not releasing, not watching any of that adult material, not engaging with women, not dating, none of that, right? Just straight head down, grinding, working, getting back on track. But I wanted to make, hopefully, I can keep this within 5 minutes, just some quick observations that I've noticed over the last week as I've approached day 20, 3 weeks in. And again, today's day 21. So one thing for sure, and I wrote these down real quick, eye contact, and I'll expand on this a little bit. So eye contact, I noticed the ease of it starting in week 3, like after day 14, day 15, like around that time, where just conversing with people, the ease of it, whether it's walking into the gym, striking up a conversation casually with a gal at the front desk, which I never do. It just organically felt right, just kind of looking her in the eye. I mean, hitting that gym, seeing the same people there for the past 18 months, call it year and a half, and I've never had the urge to really do that until lately, really hell-bent on this new streak of SR. And I just noticed that with the lady at the front desk, even like other people walking by, whether it was in the mall when I went shopping for some new gym gear, gym attire, and just seeing people walking by and just kind of like with ease too, just like not in a mean mugging way. I just felt calm, relaxed, just kind of like looking around at everyone, observing everything, and just not really feeling any inkling of anxiety, is how I would describe that. And it's something typically I've noticed around day 10. I've noticed on this last freak, a lot of things just seem to have kicked into overdrive around day 14, 15, and I've been documenting every day, like any observations, anything that stood out for you all, just to kind of share my experience. The woman attraction, female attraction. So in a variety of settings. I'll give you one example back at the gym. So I've noticed as around day 13, day 14, where I'll be using a machine. And, at the gym, I'm not one of those guys that rubbernecks and starts looking around at everything that's walking by. You see a lot of these guys doing it. We got to stop doing that, fellas. But before I go off on a tangent there, like my peripheral vision, even if I'm looking here, I can still see everything within reason somewhat close to me, like over on this side, over on that side. And I've noticed, like I was doing tri pull downs with a rope, and there was this gal. When I walked in, she was warming up on a treadmill. She locked eyes with me. I kind of casually smiled, made no fuss about it, just went on my way to the water cooler, warmed up, stretched, and then hit the weights. But I noticed that when she walked by, she acted like she was checking herself out in the mirror, like right in front of me, walking by perpendicular to where I'm doing the tricep pull downs. And she kept going. She only did that as soon as she was within my field of vision. And I know it was her checking to see if I was looking, right? I can kind of see off to the side in the mirror. And then it's kind of like I was thinking about it, like while I was doing the sets, but I was so locked in, it crossed my mind, like, is she kind of checking me out, throwing me signals? Thought nothing of it, but then I noticed when I was getting ready to go to the next machine, like she literally pulled up into the other at the gym. They have the towers or the all the pull down stuff. She pulled up in the section of the tower I was at next to me, and she turned around, she stood there, and she was like looking at me. She didn't even try to be covert about it this time. And I'm kind of like looking at my phone, looking down, and I could see her, I could feel her looking at me. Didn't want to look back. I'm like, I'm not here for that. It's maybe at some point in time I'll say something to her, but I was just locked in. Notice it. I could feel her gaze. And then I walked off, and as I was walking off, she let out this like like this sigh of like anger or frustration that I was not looking at her. Y'all, I hate to say this is just a coincidence. Maybe it could be, but I've had multiple experiences like this every time I've gotten on this path where I've started to retain, and it's usually around week 2 or week 3, I start to notice these things. And I'm very like aware of body language, almost hyper aware of it, and of my environment. I'm just one of those guys that I'm tuned in on what's going on, even if I'm not looking. So that's one observation I noticed, where it's just kind of like overwhelmingly, I felt like the magnetic pull, or whatever you want to call it, attraction from her. And I thought that was unique. That hasn't happened in a while. I think the last time something like that may have happened, it was on like my second longest streak, where it was 74 days. I know I had a similar incident like that at the mall when I was shopping for some fitness wear at Fabletics. Anyhow, the second observation of female attraction was, it was at the gym again. Statuesque, tall, blonde hair, blue eyed. She kind of looks like one of those volleyball players. And I live in a town in Texas. It's like a big college town. She looks like one of those volleyball players, like on one of one of the local universities. Is all I'll say. I'm not going to say any more than that. Tall, statuesque, beautiful, and I remember when I first saw her, I think she's a new member of the gym. This is like a month back. I was a little intimidated. Like, I'm not a tall dude. I'm 5'8". This gal must be like 6 feet tall, but freaking gorgeous. Anyhow, doing a set, looking down again on my phone, just trying to lock in on my playlist. And then she was kind of like diagonally at a different machine, and I looked over and she was like staring at me. And then she looked down and away. And that's like another thing you'll notice, not only with females, but with men too. Like, and you're not being like hostile towards anyone. You're just like locked in, and you can make eye contact easily. Is that when you connect with people, and you may have heard other content creators talk about this, when you connect with people via the eyes, like, it's so easy to lock eyes with people, and people can get intimidated, or they'll look away first. Maybe they're not intimidated, but they're shy, whatever. She looked away. It happened twice with her. Normally, this girl is like one of those girls, I'd say she's a legit 9, maybe not a 10, legit 9, where she could intimidate anyone just by walking in a room. She's that that attractive. Anyhow, so I noticed that with her, which, normally it's like when I see her walking by, she's like looking ahead, trying not to make eye contact with any guys. Um, I know for women that's a thing where they don't want to risk making eye contact with men to give them the wrong idea. That's something that I know women are, in general, especially attractive women, are hyper aware of, because there's a bunch of creeps, a bunch of dudes that could take that the wrong way or become stalker mode. I've heard all sorts of stories, but this gal was literally beaming me with her eyes when I looked over, and then she looked down and away. Last call out, I have this neighbor. I live in this huge apartment complex, and when I do laps with my dog around the building, I've noticed like sometimes her door's always open, and she's never outside. My dog will go up to like her balcony area, and my dog, they're friends with her dog, and she'll come out, right? But I've noticed the last few times I've done laps, like it's like the minute I'm making the bend around the corner, it's like I'm aware of my peripherals, and I can kind of tell her balcony's there, this person's unit's there, that person's unit's there, and normally she's never outside for whatever reason. Every time, like the last week, I'm coming around a bend. It's like this deep bend. Can I glance over? No one out there, because I want my dog to interact with her dog, so because they play with each other. The last week though, every time, as soon as I like cross the viewpoint, she's out there with her big headphones on, and it's almost like she's acting like she's just there coincidentally every time, just listening to her music, looking out at the sunset or whatever. And I just know, it could be a coincidental thing, but I've just noticed it. It was just a break in the pattern where, like, every single time, just as I come around the bend, and keep in mind, sometimes when I walk my dog, it's just totally random, time-wise, schedule-wise. It's not like she could get there and get ready. So she's always out there every time, as if like trying to be visible, like in my field of vision. Just a minute. It could be coincidence, I don't know, but I've just noticed it's a break in the pattern, because that's never happened since I've lived here in the past 2 years. So that's something that and she's been here 2 years too. So that's something I've noticed. I want to wrap this video up because I don't want to make it too long. There are a few other observations that I wrote down in my notes. Oh, so back to the eye contact thing. Again, at the gym. I've noticed, like, sometimes there'll be guys that'll do passive aggressive things. And if you're a gym goer, you know what I'm talking about. Where they'll, like, when they're walking by, they'll grab their crotch, like as if it's some caveman thing to assert dominance. I'm like, bro, you don't need to grab your crotch walking by trying to make eye contact with me. That's like silly. Or the other thing with their water bottle, when they're walking by, if it's one of those snap down water bottles, the minute they walk by, if their water bottle's open, they'll slam it down to make a noise, like right by you. No coincidence. It's like every time. I've noticed the intensity of those things has picked up. But here's the thing with eye contact, because I hate that passive aggressive stuff. I try not to engage in a back and forth mind games. If you're a gym goer and you're a dude, you know what I'm talking about. But every time something like that has happened, unprovoked, where I'm just doing my set, or I'm checking the score on the TVs up above. The minute I turn around and make eye contact, the guys that are doing whatever passive aggressive thing they're doing, they look at me and then they look down, and it's like they just get scared. It's almost a way, and I don't want anyone out there getting in fights or anything, but it's almost a way of kind of like checking people politely with just intense eye contact. And I'm a big person of respect. Like, I'm never going to disrespect you intentionally or doing things like standing in front of you when you're doing a set within your field of vision, like within reason, where it's like literally right in front of you. Things like that, just eye contact. Like the minute I make eye contact intensely, it's almost like they straighten up. Or like, oh, I don't know how to explain it. Or if I feel, because I felt this, I feel more like I have a bullseye on my back when I go into the gym on some of these longer streaks. But the eye contact always, and I don't want anyone out there starting fights or anything or getting into these, dick measuring contests, but just a simple, okay, they're doing something, and you'd be surprised. People straighten up. They're probably insecure. They could feel the confidence and the energy, the aura, whatever you want to call it, right? There's something there. There's something there. So anyhow, just a few observations. So mainly, some female attraction, intensifying, being pulled towards you, whether consciously or subconsciously, they know it. There's something going on there. I've taken note of the pattern before and after. And then, of course, the power of eye contact. Oh, and last thing, energy. So the last 2 weeks, I've been averaging 12 to 15,000 steps every day. Gym, studying, working on work projects, and 12 to 15,000 steps a day, which is wild. I've just been on a kick where it's just like the energy going. I still haven't gotten to the point where I'm like waking up early. Like there's that phase, like the deeper you go on this journey, where your body will wake itself up early, like 4:30, 5 a.m. If you're eating right and you're going to bed on time, even sometimes going to bed late, like you will wake up 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. Anyhow, this video is closing in on 20 minutes. Fellas, I'm on day 21. Just wanted to share some of my observations with y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. Stay on a path. Keep pushing to get better every day, man. It's a battle. It's a grind. But we're chasing good things, and I want to do more of this channel. Please like, subscribe, share your comments in the video comment section as well. I'm curious what y'all experiences are as well. Anyhow, that's all I got for now. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.